Hey, what's up, you guys? Whether it's your first time with us or you've been with us for a while, this is episode 8 here at the Players Club, a podcast by the players for the people, and I'm your host, Darien Rencher. Welcome to week 8 of the Players Club. This week we'll be joined by my teammate, good friend, brother, everything, all the above, Xavier Thomas, defensive end here at Clemson. And off the bat, he's got one of the best stories that I know in college football. Has an incredible story, one of redemption, overcoming, and everything in between. And the best part about it is still far from over. And I'm really excited to see how it's going to finish out his college career. And also, you guys will see this. He's got one of the, he actually might have showed me up on the show for the first time with maybe a clearer camera and a better backdrop than I have. And so it is what it is. You know, best is the standard here at Clemson. So maybe he's trying to show me up. But look, you're in for a treat later with Xavier Thomas. And like always, we'll get to some of you guys' questions. It's one of my favorite parts of the show is when you guys send in questions. I'm able to answer him on the show so you guys can get to know me. I can get to know you, you know, little exchange. And then last week, we went to Syracuse, played a big game up there in the Carrier Dome, and it came down to the wire. That's like that's our fourth game that have come down to one possessions, or like the last possession. And we got a joke. We call ourselves the cardiac kids in the building because, man, I'm talking about y'all have no idea. I mean, obviously, you guys are fans. You guys get stressed out. But, I mean, as a player, like, and you're just watching the game, especially when the defense is on the field and, you know, the offense doesn't have any control of what's about to happen. You're just like, oh, my gosh, please. You're praying everything in your mind, like, we cannot lose this game. But we prevailed. We came out on top, ready to keep it going. This week we got a big game going to Pittsburgh, playing at the Steelers Stadium, which is going to be pretty cool. Playing Pitt. We're facing off a really good team, a ranked team, and it's going to be a big challenge for us if we still have hopes to try to make it to Charlotte and play for ACC championship. And this is a game we have to go win in order for that to still be a reality for us. And Pitt's a really good team. Like I said, ranked team. He's got one of the best offenses in the country. The quarterback's up for the Heisman. And so we're all looking forward and eager for this challenge. And like you guys have seen this season, and we're really looking forward for the Clemson team for us to just put it all together and go have a special performance. And so really excited to go play up in Pittsburgh this weekend. Big time game for us. But I'll get to all of that more with my guest, defensive end, one of the best prospects coming out of this year's draft, having an incredible year, but really has a great overcoming story that you guys will hear next here at the Players Club, Xavier Thomas. All right, guys, episode 8 here. One of my teammates, my brother, a dude that's been having an incredible season and honestly has an incredible story for anybody who loves college football. He's got one of the best stories in college football coming back for his senior year. My boy, my brother, Xavier Thomas. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Glad to have you, my guy. Glad to have you on the pod, man. All right, we're going to get straight into it. Lots to get into Xavier Thomas. Known him for a while. Really good friend of mine. And like I said, got one of the best stories that I know of. We're going to go back, bro. Take it down memory lane. Lots to get into. But, all right, so you're from South Carolina. Shout out to Florence. Yes, sir. Shout out to Florence. But you went to IMG, who became famous for beating Bishop Sycamore this year. Maybe not, maybe so. But, bro, what is the process like to go to IMG? Like, how does it work?
Okay, so first, I mean, you got to be like a top player. Well, you don't have to be a top player, but they start recruiting guys that's like at high schools that like want to just put themselves in a better position to get ready for college, or if they want to get colleges looked at them, because a lot of guys are in the situations in high schools that don't get looked at or don't have that type of exposure, so they try to help guys out with that. And then they look for top recruits as well. That's not a good. That's a great player, but it's not as good as a high school. And I had a very situation like that because we was going from coach to coach. It was a mess. I love my high school to death, but we hired a very, I would say, very inexperienced high school coach. And it was a very bad experience. And I just wanted to put myself in a better situation by going to IMG so I can better prepare myself for college.
For sure. And bro, honestly, IMG is like a mini college in itself. So walk me through some more details. So do they, I don't know, do they send you a letter? Do they call you like do they recruit you like Clemson does? Like,
yeah,
so you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I got recruited like it was a college. Like my the DL coach there, Coach Logan, one of my favorite coaches of my whole career. He was coming to Florence to see me because he had his mom in Charleston, so he was coming to see me. And of course, I talked to some coaches over the phone and things like that. And I was also talking to the current players that was at IMG, at the time, and just through social media and things like that, asking how it was and things like that. But the coach was actually coming to see me. He was talking to my mom, telling me how it was. So it's a real business over there. Like it's definitely like a college experience. You got to go to class. Over there, you do class in the mornings, just like in the early part of the day, just like you do in college here.
Right.
And then you got practice and stuff in the afternoon. You will have lifts. You either have it in the morning or in the afternoon. You have the option between the two. And it's really just set up like a college. Like you have colleges, coaches coming all the time to watch the practices and things like that. So it's really a professional business over there.
Yeah, I mean, you are a highly ranked dude going into it, so obviously more so is for you to just get more exposure. What was your experience like? So walk people through IMG. If people don't know it, all right, so big time football, what is IMG?
IMG is basically where, I mean, it's a real brotherhood there. Of course, like a lot of talented kids go there, but you got a lot of exposure. Like I said, all the college coaches coming, and then all the different camps you can do there. Even Cam Newton had a camp there, and then you see other guys that come there to train for the draft and things like that. And like I said, with the schedule and things like that, it's really set up for you to prepare you for college in regards to you gotta be responsible because you stay in dorms, you live on campus. You have to be responsible in regards to being accountable. You got to show up on time to meetings, show up on time to practice, show up on time to class. It's discipline enforced if you don't. So it's really just to really prepares you for college in regards to everything that you have to go through.
Yeah. What was your biggest game, like ESPN game when you was at IMG?
I would say the first game of the season when we played in Arizona, and that was the driest environment I've ever played in. But I got defensive player of the game that game, and it was the first game of the season. It was ESPN. It was some top school in Arizona we beat, and I put the quarterback out the game, and I also knocked the helmet off the next quarterback that got in. So it was pretty fun, I would say.
Sounds like a good time for you, boy.
Yeah.
All right. So who was on the other side of the field? Because obviously they had to have some players. Like who was playing on the other side?
They had a few like top recruits in regards to the offense. They had some guys who was committed to different schools. I don't remember their exact names, of course, but I know the quarterback was committed to Alabama. I don't know if he still went there or anything like that. I know it just had other top recruits and things like that. But we were loaded. Like my team, we were loaded.
I'm about to say, all right, walk us through your IMG team. Who was on the team? Where did they go?
Okay, so on our D line, like our defense was strictly loaded. So I played with Teron Vincent. All of my guys I'm still close with and we keep in contact. My defensive line, I had Teron Vincent, who's the starting D tackle for Ohio State now. Nolan Smith, who's the defensive end for Georgia now. We play together, obviously ends, and then you got Stephon Wynn. You might know Stephon when he was at
bro. Of course I know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hey, hell to yeah, he went to the same high school. Stephon Wynn.
So he's at Bama now. In the secondary, you got Buki. He plays at Washington now. I had Greg Newsome. My cornerback. He was just a first round pick for the Browns. He was from I forgot which school he went to, but he was a first round pick. That gives you everything you need to know about that.
Yeah. So people, as you can see, you can't make it up. So pretty much everybody on both sides of the ball went D1. Is that safe to say?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
All right. Well, all right. Shout out to IMG. Where they breed the best of the best. And so all right. XT, you went to IMG, but you're from South Carolina originally. Like I said, shout out to Florence. Was it always Clemson for you?
Oh no, not at all. Okay, so of course I had offers from everybody in the country, but my top schools was going to Ohio State. I loved there when I visited there. I loved Bama. I like Georgia a lot, and I also like Clemson and South Carolina was my two in-state schools. So I had basically, when I left to go to Florida, I basically decided I wanted to come back home and play for my state. So I wanted to either play for South Carolina or Clemson. And I grew up a South Carolina Gamecock fan, which I get a lot of hate for now. Right. But they was in shambles in regards to like when I was in a recruiting process and getting a new coach and everything like that. And then just visiting two places. Clemson was just more of a natural family environment for me. Of course, they were winning. They were playing big-time ball, going in the playoffs, national championships. I mean, stuff like that you just want to come play for. And just talking to different players and things like that, their experiences, and just the background Clemson had with the defensive line and the DNs that they were putting in the league and things like that. I just wanted to come be a part of that.
Exactly. And so you did. So, bro, you came in hot. Freshman, All-American, had a great freshman year. I got several plays that go through my head. You win a natty. What was your first year like playing at Clemson?
My first year was everything you can dream of. I was um, playing behind Cleveland and all those Dexter and Christian Wilkins and Austin Bryant on the defensive line. They were all top picks. Just learning from them guys. And I was the backup, so I had no expectations. I was just going in and just having fun with it. Basically just following those guys. And whenever AB would get tired of things like that, Clay, I would go in, backing them up and just doing what I do and just playing ball and playing free, I would say.
Bro, what was your favorite play from your freshman year?
I mean, I wouldn't say that particular play, but that whole drive when against Syracuse in my freshman year, when I came in towards the end of the game, we know Trevor got hurt, and then Trace Burst had to come in and save the day. And then I was in the game in that last drive. They could have had a game-winning drive. Had a very veteran quarterback, Eric Dungy, a big kid. He was about 6'3", 240. And I came out the edge and hit him, of course, right in front of the student section. Just really anything you can really dream of. And getting a clean shot on him, the crowd goes wild. And then really just that whole drive, because I really could have had 3 sacks that drive, because the next play I hit him again, and then he threw it out of bounds right before his knee hit the ground. And then the next play I'm right on him, and he just dumps it off to the running back last second because he had no choice. So that's really just my favorite all time just situation in regards to my freshman year.
For sure, that hit was brutal. Yeah, they got to pull that up. They got to pull that clip up whenever you talk about it. All right, so bro, crazy freshman year. You had a strong second year. Like we said, we went on to play for another national championship.
Yeah.
But bro, then 2020 happens. COVID hits. And as everybody knows who's watching this, everybody was affected in some type of way. And like everybody, there was nobody who left 2020 like smooth sailing. We were all affected in some type of way. But just tell the people a little bit about your experience in 2020.
Yeah, that was one tough year for me. Okay, so of course we get the COVID happened and we all had to go home and things like that. I went home with a good mindset. I was going to train and be ready. And then I got COVID, and then I couldn't train in regards to when we had to come back and with the team and things like that. And then I couldn't train for about a month or two. And then because I was still having breathing problems and things like that. So I had gained a lot of weight, and then gained about 20. And then I had got strep as soon as I got kind of clear from COVID. And that put me back even more. So couldn't really train at all. So I had gained about 30, 40 pounds. I weighed 260 and I got up to about 295, 300 pounds. And that was just because that was supposed to be my year. I had planned for my junior year to be my breakout year. I was just going to go ahead and
bag year.
Yep. And go ahead and do what I do and then head off to the league and be 3 and out and be 3 and done. And then just going through that just was so disappointing for me because I had gained all the weight, and then trying to play through that just was very depressing because I held myself to a very high standard and high expectation. And then, so doing that just was very depressing. It was a very tough year, a very mentally challenging year.
Well, bro, you battled back, and now you're here. You look like the Xavier Thomas everybody expected when you came in. Bro, how was it battling like all the expectations on you? So just for people, for the record, some people may know, some people may not know. You and Trevor were like, he was 1, you were 3 player in the country. And obviously everybody had these expectations for you to be, you know what I'm saying, 3 and done. And everybody's journey is different. Like, how was it for you battling the expectations? Because obviously now you're like, you being who everybody thought you would be. But at the time there was like a little, you know what I'm saying, part where you like, you weren't yourself. So how'd you battle those expectations?
It was hard, man, because like I said, even the expectation I had for myself, and then I was it was a lot of people saying a lot of negative things about me. I was listening to all of that. I don't think there was one thing I did not hear that I didn't let affect me, because I was even telling myself the same things, and people that didn't even know me was just talking bad about me in regards to being a disappointment, being a bust, being just those natural things, and I was just letting it all affect me, and I was letting it get to my mental, and I was so disappointed in myself, like. It really got bad to a point to where like I was telling Dabo I can't even do it anymore last year. Like I was about to quit and give up on ball, give up on myself, and just leave it all alone and really just stop playing. But it was just prayer and just counting on my teammates, and my coach was reminding me who I am and just who I can be and who I was, because I really lost sight of all of that. Just remembering who I am and the player I can be and the player I was, and I really just. Battled through all that, just leaned on all my teammates and all my coaches, and they really helped me a lot. just coming back in January and then having to sit down with coach and he telling me this is what I want to do. I have to do it. Like I can't be halfway in. I can't be halfway out like I was that whole 2020 year because I was so down on myself and in a really deep depression. And that's why I really learned that in 2020, like mental depression is really real. I didn't know how it really was until I really experienced it. Like you can really get down into some deep, dark places where you don't even like some bad places, man. And compared to where I want to be and my expectations for myself, it was really bad. And
I know.
I came back my January year for my senior year. Decided I was gonna come back and talk to Dabo. He said, he said I couldn't be halfway in. Got to be all in with it if I'm gonna actually do it. And I made that a commitment to myself that I really wanted to be the player I wanted to be. And I came back and every workout, every mandatory team workout, I would always get in and do extra every day and come in and do 2 days every single day during the spring and during the summer. And
I'm a witness.
Yeah, I came in after every mandatory workout doing extra and coming in and do extra cardio after every hard morning workout, things like that. And that was just a commitment to myself because I wanted to get that weight down. I wanted to be the player that I wanted to be. And even after every practice today, I'm still doing the same thing because I still got goals to reach. So it's really it's really not an option for me anymore to not put in extra and things like that. It's just a mindset. So I really just had to get myself in the right mindset to be the player I wanted to be. Yeah, and as of today, I'm weighing 256, and that's like I said, I was weighing 295, 300 pounds, and that's like a 40 pound loss right there. My goal weight is 255, but it was 265, but I wanted to get to a solid 255 once I got there, because that's what the weight I want to play at when I get to the league, really.
Yeah, bro. But you said it all. I mean, that was kind of what I was going to even ask you about, and you can kind of give people a little bit more, but just. For context is, bro, even through all of that, like you were as talented a player to where you still could have slid and really could have had a decent combine and went probably top 4 rounds. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what you projected as, which is still crazy in itself.
Yeah.
But you decide to come back. So what you talked about Coach Sweeney's conversation, but what else was going through your mind when you decided to come back for your senior year?
Mostly, like you said, I had talked to the guys about I talked to different scouts and talked to Coach Sweeney about the if I had went to the draft. I could have went to 3rd, 4th round, but that's to me that's like I'm selling myself short at that point because I know the type of player I am and I know the type of player I could be, and a lot of people didn't know that. So I know if I would have sold myself short like that, I would regret it later on. And coming back 1 year and just committing to my goals and just doing what I know I can do, and putting myself in the position to be the best in the country. I mean. That's really all I wanted to do. I know I didn't want to sell myself short and go to the combine and sell because I knew the goals that I had, and that's always to go early, top pick in the draft and things like that. And I didn't want to sell myself short of that.
For sure. And bro, you like you said, you talked about doing extra and just like kind of holistically changing your life. But people are now seeing like what they always believe. You know what I'm saying, bro? Mm-hmm. A dude moving super crazy fast at your size, coming off the edge, making plays, leading the defense, being part of like, you know what I'm saying, a national top-ranked defense. But what has been your mindset this year?
Mostly just being the player I know I am, and this is something I always know. Like I tell myself almost like every day, like not a lot of people still don't know everything that I'm capable of. Only I know that because I know the type of things I can do. But the time is always coming where I can prove myself every week in regards to different things I can do. So I really just take it week to week and just know. I tell myself before every game, go show to the world that you're the best in the country, and that's what it's just my mindset, and just to keep doing that, and not get frustrated, and just take everything slowly and take it day by day.
All right, as you guys know, we're still in ACC play this week. We play Pittsburgh at Pitt. We play a ranked opponent, and I'm excited, man. Just because I've been saying every week, and y'all think I'm an idiot, but I've kept the faith. Look. And faith looks foolish until it happens. But I'm telling y'all, I know what we have in this building, and I don't care who leaves or who's hurt, but we have such a special team. And once we put it all together, I'm telling you, like, it's going to be special. And so I'm hoping and praying and believing that this is going to be the week, bro. Because this got to be the week. I mean, Pitt's a good team, and we got to get rolling so we can accomplish the rest of these goals. What's your thoughts about going to the Pitt game?
I'm really excited for it, man. I think it's going to be a huge challenge for us. They're a very good team, and of course they have the one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, if not the best, with the best quarterback rating in the nation. I love challenges like this, and I love, in regards, they say he's going to be in the Heisman race and things like that. I just love a challenge like this, and to be able to go against him and things like that, I'm really excited for it. It gets me pumped up.
Keep the faith, baby. All right, bro. We're gonna end on the high note. All right, so as you can tell by my man's backdrop, it is not a regular backdrop. He has a clear as camera as I do. There's a lot going on back there. Bro, tell people about XT the Gamer. You know what I'm saying? Just all people. Yeah. XT the Gamer. He plays football during the day. You know what I'm saying? He kills on video games at night. Tell people about XT the Gamer.
I've been playing, and video games been a passion of mine since I was a little kid. It's not just something I do for fun. Like, you can ask any of the guys on the team who just play for fun. They don't like playing with me because I make them look and feel bad, because I'm a real competitive and I take my gaming really serious in regards to when I play. Like, I want to be the greatest, and I follow a lot of professional gamers and streamers like that. And I really got serious with it about 2 years ago. Because I just played the game. I mean, I was competitive with it, but I never knew about the professional field and the streaming and things like that. And that's what I've been following and talking to a lot of big time streamers. Like, got a guy named Destroy. He averages like 5,000 viewers. A guy like Aiden, when professional Warzone, Call of Duty players and things like that. We're talking to them about how they started and things like that. And that's a career of mine that I want to follow after I'm done with football. And this is a career I want to pursue, because it's something I'm really good at. Like, it's not just something I play casually for fun. It's I want to be a professional gamer and things like that after I'm done in the league, and in a lot of talks with a lot of different guys. But once I'm done, I can put myself in that position once I'm done with ball.
For sure. All right, bro. All right, for all the gamers out there, this isn't not a joke. This is serious. Tell us your best game on Warzone. Like, your best game you ever played on Warzone. Like, what was your stat? What was your stat line?
I would say in Warzone, it's very hard to get. A lot of people that play Warzone know that it's hard to get a high amount of kills, because it's a long game. You can die anytime. It's not just regular multiplayer where you just drop 50 kills or things like that. But I would say my best Warzone game is when I dropped 35 in the Warzone game and got the dub and things like that. But I'm much more capable of, I can like the professional players. If I sat here and played every day and played full time, I can drop 50 plus and average that. But I don't play full time. Of course, I got football and things like that and other things I have to handle. So I only get to play that much. I only get to play on a little bit of free time. But if I played full time like these professional guys, I could easily drop and do things that they do.
And anytime I play 2K and you know what I'm saying, Madden. But anytime you hear somebody drop 35 at anything, sounds good to me, bro. So I know it sounds good to these people that play the games. All right, last couple questions. All right, bro. Senior year, this definitely. You come back for a fifth year?
No, sir.
I'm joking, bro.
I'm playing on it.
All right, this is it for Xavier Thomas. Been a great ride, bro. What will you miss most about Clemson?
I would say what I would miss most. I would say I would miss Death Valley the most. I mean, there's nothing that you can enjoy the most in regards to like our fans and just the loudness of that stadium and just the cheers that you get coming down the hill and things like that. And just opening kickoff and hyping the crowd up and things like that. I think those are unforgettable moments, because you got the league and stuff like that, but the league doesn't have diehard fans. Like, you know, it's really just a business over there. So like, I think that would be the thing that I miss the most about Clemson, is really just Death Valley. And there's a lot of other places in college that don't even have that type of love that our fans show.
All right, here's the last one, bro. What do you want to leave Clemson? Like, when people think of Xavier Thomas, what do you want to leave Clemson with?
Just my inspiring story, bro. Like, anybody that goes through dark times and goes through a bad year or things like that, or even just a bad week, just that you can always bounce back from it no matter how hard it gets. Because based off what I went through, I don't see nobody that can get any lower than I was, because I was literally rock bottom about to give up on football. So I would literally just say, no matter how hard as you think it is or how bad times are, it's really not that bad, bro. And you can really come back from anything as long as you just keep the faith, like I said, and trust in God. That's really what I just want my story to inspire others.
Keep the faith, bro. Well, you're my 8th guest. I don't know if that has any significance as a number, but I appreciate you for coming on. Once again, bro, another Clemson guy, my brother, Xavier Thomas. Thank you for coming on the Players Club podcast. Obviously, like I always say, by the players, for the people. Sign off, bro. Tell the people something. You could just sign off. Say
yes, sir.
Whatever.
I appreciate you having me. And like I said earlier, to anybody that's going through anything, never get too high, never get too low in regards to things going good, and just keep the faith in regards to anything that you're going through in life.
All right, so we're back. Q&A time, one of my favorite parts of the show. Where you guys send in questions and I answer them, and we're going to get right to it. So first question. Is Shaira from Chicago? Shout out to the Windy City. She says, if you had to play another sport, which one and why? And let me think. No, I'm joking. I don't have to think. This is a no-brainer. I'll play basketball, 100%. Like, I grew up being a hooper. I played with some really good guys. I play AAU ball. This is a shameless plug here, because obviously they have won further than I did in basketball, and I'm playing football now. But I play with Dennis Smith Jr., who's a starting point guard now, with Damian Lillard out. He plays for the Portland Trail Blazers. I play with Bam Adebayo, starting center, all-star for the Miami Heat. Play with Seventh Woods, YouTube sensation. Shout out to my boy Sev. I don't know if you're watching the pod, but whatever. Quay Parker, YouTube sensation. A lot of good guys who play for the Carolina Diamonds. Growing up, I really wanted to go play basketball in college. But I was 6 feet too short, and football looked a lot more promising than basketball. But anybody that knows me, especially on the team, y'all know I like to hoop all the time. So whenever we can hoop, I hoop. And on the record, the last Clemson intramural championship belongs to moi. On that team was me, Trevor Lawrence, Kayvon Wallace, Tavian Feaster, Tremaine Ankrum, Joseph Ngata, who's a receiver now, Isaac Morehouse, who played here at tight end, and I think that's it. I don't want to forget anybody. But we had a really good team, and just the funny part about that year, because we haven't played intramural, we didn't play it the year before because of COVID, and it doesn't come up till the spring. But we were supposed to play T. Higgins, Justin Ross, DeAndre Overton, Cornell Powell. Who else? They had Chase Bryce was on that team. They had a loaded team. They actually beat us in the regular season, but they actually lost to the team who played in the championship. So we had this. I don't think an intramural game has ever been that packed at Fike in Clemson. That's our recreational center. I'm talking about this thing was packed for an intramural championship game because we were playing, and we almost lost. But we pulled together, we won, and we were the 2019 intramural champions. So I'll be a hooper. That's all I gotta say for sure. Next question. My man Brian from Powdersville, South Carolina, says, what are your thoughts on the midseason transfers? Very timely question. As of we just had 2 more players into the portal this week. We've had, since the spring, we had a lot of guys leave Clemson and enter the transfer portal, which is kind of like this new phenomenon where you can just up and leave and kind of roll the dice on yourself and see what happens with you. But I think as far as like guys leaving Clemson, I mean, it's hard because these are my teammates, these are my friends, these are guys who we were in the trenches together, and I got a lot of love for. And so I have mixed emotions because I'm like, I don't wish any harm on anybody. I wish those guys the best, and I wish nothing. Like, I wish they prosper and have success, and it all works out. I do think there's some guys that have left recently that I think have left the right way. When I mean the right way, I think that like they didn't leave in the middle of the season, and to each his own with that stuff. But I think there's always a time for everything. I think there's like a better time to do certain things than to not do them. And so I think a guy like Chase Bryce, who's on the podcast, if you haven't listened to that one, go back and watch it. I think he had one of the better transfer stories because he finished out the season. He was a graduate, which is a big thing. He graduated from Clemson, so Clemson's always going to love him, be home. But then obviously he went on. He had aspirations to go get more playing time somewhere. He's behind Trevor Lawrence. I mean, bro, go ahead and do your thing. But I think the part is I don't necessarily agree with it. Like, that's kind of where I stand. It's like, it's all love, but I don't necessarily agree with the decision's been made. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's just me having an opinion about how I go about my business, because I've decided to stay, and I've seen guys stay and it work out well for them. And even if guys decide to leave after the season, as far as guys leaving during the season, I think it's, to each his own. But I personally wouldn't make that decision even if I wanted to leave. I would see it through and finish it out. But like I said, I wish the best to all my guys that I've played with that have left and are trying to find a new home and find a new opportunity. All right, you guys. Now this next question is a little tougher to answer in a totally different way, and it really might get me into some trouble. And there's no really way to win here because there's so many opinions about what this next question is. But here we're just gonna go for it. Here it is. My man Austin from Clemson says, "Who are your top 5 Clemson players of all time?" Like I said, there is no way for me to get this right, but the goal here is for you to understand how I'm thinking and how I see it. So I'm gonna cut all time to all time Sweeney era. So that'll save me a little bit because I'm not gonna speak on anything I don't really know or I really haven't seen tape or seen play. because that's going to save me a little room here. But my all-time top 5 with a couple honorable mentions, because I got to do that because I'm like I said, I'm torn, guys. I'm torn. My all-time top 5 in the Swinney era, in no order, is Trevor Lawrence. All right, yeah, but I said that's an easy one. Y'all, nobody can dispute me on that one. Trevor Lawrence is all-time top 5, number 1 pick, the only number 1 pick to come through Clemson, maybe ever. I think the resume speaks for itself. Went 34-2 as a starter, led us to a national championship as a freshman, played for another national championship, took us 3 ACC titles, had an incredible career, was the golden child, and yeah, he'll be on the podcast at some point to state his case. All right, so Trevor Lawrence in the top 5. No, like I said, no order. Deshaun Watson. I mean, come on, guys. D-Watt. Like, led us to a national championship. Was a Heisman contender for 2 years. Really should have won it his sophomore year, honestly. Not the year Lamar won it, but I think him and Derrick Henry, I don't know. It's up for debate. I think Deshaun had a really great year his sophomore season, but definitely one of the best players to come through Clemson in the Swinney era. My next one is Sammy Watkins. I know some of you guys might think DeAndre Hopkins, but Sammy Watkins was just different. Like, oh my gosh. I remember his freshman year, he came in, like he was a freshman All-American and was just going crazy. Like, I mean, he was just different. So Sammy Watkins is in my top 5. And then I would say, all right, I got to go defensive guy. Name 3 offensive guys. There's a lot of defensive guys to choose from. And this is tough. Maybe I'm biased on this one. He was my roommate and a really good friend of mine. But at the same time, I feel like this is a good answer. Christian Wilkins, as far as a defensive guy. And here's my criteria. Because I got a couple other guys that I could throw in there. You got Bimble Ware, you got Cleveland Farrell, Daquan Bowers. And the reason I say Christian is because he played since he was a freshman. And so I don't know too many guys that played freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. And contributed in every single year of his college career. And I don't care what the stats say. People may have had better stats, but his energy and his aura on the Clemson football team was special. Like he was a presence. He was a force to be felt. And you know what I'm saying? He was just a special player. And he really could do it all. And he was a joy to watch. So I would put him in my top 5 Clemson players. And then here's the one that hurts me the most as a running back. Because I cannot choose, guys. Like, all right, so there's 4 that you know what I'll live with, and they can be up for debate. Trevor, Deshaun, Sammy Watkins, Christian Wilkins. But CJ Spiller and Travis Etienne, because they just represent two different parts of the Clemson program. Because you got CJ Spiller on one hand, who is he's the foundation. Like if there's no CJ Spiller, there's no Coach Swinney, there's no playoffs, there's no Taj Boyd, there's no Travis Etienne, to be honest. CJ Spiller believed in the Coach Swinney's vision and was the first baller. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a 9th pick in the draft. Like he was special. Kickoff return, receiving yards. He's now my coach, which is kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of crazy to see life come full circle. He's my running backs coach. But he was the guy. Like, and he had an incredible Clemson career, is now in the College Football Hall of Fame and broke a bunch of records. And so he's definitely got to be in there. But the reason I'm torn is because you also got this guy named Travis Etienne, who's the all-time ACC lead rusher, touchdown leader, who has like the most touchdowns in a career, like some crazy stat. Travis Etienne was special. And maybe because it's like people think the history is so cool because it's so far ago, but like, please don't forget who Travis Etienne was. Especially like, I mean, his sophomore and junior year had 16 yards back to back. It's a lot of yards. Was averaging like 8 a clip, like 8 yards per carry. And so, and arguably he's the greatest back in ACC history. So, I mean, he's got to be in the Clemson top 5. He's the greatest back in ACC history. And so, like I said, I'm torn between him. So, here's the top 5. Here we go. No order. My Clemson top 5 Swinney era is Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Sammy Watkins, Christian Wilkins, and then 1A, 1B is CJ Spiller and Travis. There you have it, folks. I'm up for the debate. I need to hear some answers. Y'all let me know what you think, where I went wrong, or who you put in there. Sweeney era, though. Sweeney era. So that wraps up episode 8 here at the Players Club. I want to thank you guys again for sending in questions. And I like the challenge. So, guys, send in the questions you think are kind of tough or kind of current that maybe somebody doesn't want to answer. I'm going to answer them. We're here for it. So keep sending them in. That's one of my favorite parts of the show. And then once again, I want to thank my guy, Xavier Thomas, for coming on to the show. Like you guys seen, man, a great guy, has an incredible story. He's overcome so much stuff and is having a special year to finish off his Clemson career. So excited for him, excited for all to come for us as we play Pittsburgh this week. But guys, here we are again. Like always, if you like it, like it. And if you think it's been good, follow us. If you aren't already, follow us. And if you think it's worthy for one of your friends to hear something on here, share it to somebody that will love to hear the content. And here's the challenge. We're almost at 500 subscribers. On the way to 1,000 though. So by the next show, let's get us to 500 subscribers. Let's do it. Me and you and whoever else you want to send us to. Let's get us to 500 subscribers on the way to 1K to 1,000. Man, one of my favorite parts of the week, get to do this podcast. Appreciate y'all for listening. Keep tuning in. This is one of my favorite ones. Maybe the best one yet. We'll see. But bigger and better, like always, on the way. See you next week for episode 9.